Hello there, welcome back to another video. This is a sort of video I like to do once or twice a year, once at the end of the year and once on this day sometimes, which is May the 4th, which is my birthday. This year I am 29, so I'm getting officially old, TM. Decrepit, ancient, falling apart, other such words to describe being old. Now 29 is not actually that old, but it feels old. And I just wanted to go over how the first half of the year has gone, in my opinion. Some things that I've been thinking about, other such things. And it won't be very long, 5 or 10 minutes maybe. I've very quickly run out of things to say, because I'm not that interesting as a person. So, as you may notice, I've got a new chair, this lovely thing. It's the same chair that all of my other family members have. It's just nicer. My other one was already like 10 years old, and it was a bit manky, a bit dirty and things like that, because didn't clean it very much, so it gets a bit sweaty and stuff like that. It's not very nice. So I've got this new one now. This hopefully lasts me a long time. It kind of vaguely matches my pillows in colour. That's wine red, so that's good. In terms of the channel specifically, trying to keep it away from me, I'm the sort of person who don't mind sharing personal stuff, it doesn't bother me. But I'll stick to the video stuff and then I'll do the personal bit, so if you only care about the channel stuff, you can stop after that. Yeah, so far I've been fairly happy with the videos and stuff. I've upgraded my setup at the end of last year, and so I've got a better microphone, I've got a better camera, I've got other things going on. I feel like my style is always getting better. What I choose to edit out, the length of the video, I like videos that are about 45 minutes to an hour long. Some people might not like that. It's not snappy, it's not the way that you're going to make the algorithm like you, but I don't really care, because that's the sort of stuff that I like to watch, so it's the stuff that I like to make, and I hope that other people like that kind of content too. Yeah, in general, I think that it's going well so far. As in a channel, the growth is good, things are going up, numbers are going up, subscribers are way up compared to what they've been. Views on first videos especially are much higher. For example, the Crash Bandicoot one had like 60 something views, which is crazy for me. That's like really high. So I want to say thank you for that. I'm really appreciative of that. Yeah, and so that's a really good thing. Where I'm not so happy, and it's nothing to do with the audience or anything like that, it's all internal bullshittery, is after the series before Crash Bandicoot, what was that? I don't remember off the top of my head. I could get it up, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I had a bit of a brain funk where, was it Xenoblade Torna? It might have been Torna, or it might have been something after that. I don't know. But I had a bit of a brain funk, and I have these very, very rarely. For those of you who don't know, I had like pretty bad mental health stuff when I was about 12, and that persisted until I was about 20, 21, and there were times where that was pretty bad. And now I'm 29, so every couple of years, something like that, I have a bit of a wobble, and it's not particularly great. It's nothing to worry about, it's nothing crazy, I just have a bit of a slump for a while. And I hit a slump after I finished that series, because I tried to do a few recordings of different things, including Crash 4, by the way, and just couldn't find the drive to keep doing it. I was like, I'm not good at this game, it's not fun, no one's going to like it, blah 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 blah, crying tears of pain. So I delete things, and that's how I tend to do it. I sometimes record 5 or 6 videos of a series, then delete them all because I don't like them. And so I thought, no, I need to change this behavioural pattern, because if I keep trying to be perfect, keep trying to do absolutely everything in the games I play, and I can't get anything less than the best scores and the best ranks and whatever, then I'm never going to finish anything. I'm going to feel bad about it, it's going to make me feel worse. So I have to make a decision. And so what I chose to do was to lower my standards, but not ultimately. Lower my standards in the short term. So to say, in Crash 4, for example, I can not get all of the gems and things straight away. I can build up to that if I want to, but I don't have to do it straight away. And what that's enabled me to do is keep going forwards rather than getting stuck, which will happen it used to happen a lot. If I couldn't do something perfectly straight away, I get really, really frustrated and really annoyed at myself. And I'd externalize that sometimes to other people, but mostly I would internalize it instead, and make myself feel worse, which isn't very healthy. So I feel like that's been working. I'm still kind of in that slump. I've not completely broken it. I'm not completely out of it, but it's getting better. Me allowing myself to not be perfect and allowing myself to just sort of do things has made it better. So that's a positive thing in my book. I hope that people are enjoying the stuff. As always, feel free to tell me if you're not. That's okay. Positive comments are better because, not that I have a fragile ego or anything, but it doesn't take a lot for me to belittle myself. I don't need other people to do it too. I can do it just fine on my own. So positive stuff is appreciated, but constructive feedback is also fine. The only way you get better is by learning what other people would do. Just don't expect things to change necessarily if the suggestions you would make were things that I wouldn't do. For example, well, it'd be better if you had an editor and it was 10 minutes long and there's a cut every 4.5 femtoseconds that disjoints the video and makes it really hard to follow a narrative. I'm probably not going to do that. I prefer the long form content. And you could say, well, why don't you stream then? Or maybe if you streamed on Twitch then it'd be better. The problem with that is I'm not a very social person. And so having a Twitch chat, especially an empty Twitch chat, really got to my brain. There was a time where I streamed a few years ago, and having an empty chat just drove me insane. I could obsess over the numbers, and there's no one there, and I'd just completely freak out. So I can't stream either. And I don't like watching stream VODs because the chat interaction detracts from it, in my opinion. I want to see the person play the game and what they think about the game. I don't really care about their interaction with people I don't know or care about, because I care about the person playing the game, not the audience of the person playing the game, if you get what I mean. I don't feel part of a community. I don't feel part of a collective group, because that seems a bit icky, so I don't do that. And so I don't really like that style of content. But I do like long form content a lot. I'm technically a Let's Player, if you want to call it that. That's what it used to be called. Now it's just a generic catch-all term for, content creator instead of Let's Player. But I play games predominantly. Sometimes I do videos like this where I talk, but most of the time I'm going to be playing stuff from start to finish. And I only really like playing things that I'm going to finish unless I specifically mention that it's a one-off in the video so that there's no confusion that I'm going to return to it or do something else with it, because I don't like disappointing people. I like to please people as much as possible, and sometimes that means I do too much and put too much effort into something when it's not really going to give me any benefit. But yeah, I feel like I'm going in the right direction. I'm making the content that I like. I'm making videos that I think are fine. They're not going to set the world on fire, because again, I'm not the most entertaining person. For me to be that person, I'd have to pretend to be someone I'm not, and I don't want to be a character, as so many popular YouTubers are, and that's not a criticism necessarily, it's just the reality. They're an overemphasized version of themselves. They sort of exemplify all the traits that they think will make them popular, whereas I just don't. I am who I am. And so sometimes I have the negative thought opinions and they bleed out into the videos because I can't help it. That is who I am as a person. But yeah, that's how I am. I feel like I'm being authentic. I'm being my true self. I'm playing games the way that I would normally play them, just talking over them. And I talk to myself anyway, so it's no big deal really. And I hope that other people like them too. That's all there is to it really. But yeah, I am grateful that people are viewing things more and the numbers are going up and things seem to be moving in the positive direction. I don't know how much of that is YouTube algorithm giving me little crumbs, like here you go, you little miscreant, you can have some little views for me. Or whether it's just people are, word of mouth or whatever it is, I have no idea. But it's something's going right, which is good. I'm not going to quit my job anytime soon, but it's certainly working in a positive way. So my plan is to work on the next series. I'm already working on the next series after Crash Bandicoot, which will be in 3 days' time, the video you'll see. Maybe 4, maybe Monday. And that will be a nice surprise for you. And get that done and then keep going again. There's 2 games that are coming out. Tears of the Kingdom is coming out soon. And that will be the game I play after the one I'm currently playing that you don't know about yet. And that's going to be big, because it's interesting at least, because I didn't really like Breath of the Wild that much, but it's alright as a game, it's fine. So I'll play Tears of the Kingdom with low expectations, and if they break my expectations in a positive way, then great. And before too long, we'll have the second part of FF7 Remake, which I want to play the first part on this channel and all that sort of stuff. You can always offer suggestions to me to things to play, but again, don't be surprised if I don't play them, because I'm not just going to pick any old game from any old genre if I don't think I'd already like the games. You know what I mean? I don't like just saying, oh, I'll just play Call of Duty for the lols. I don't like first-person shooters particularly, besides Borderlands. And even then, Borderlands have been getting progressively worse since Borderlands 1, so it's not really a great example. But, you know, that's the sort of thing I'm thinking about. I just wanted to make this little video because I'd like to keep up. I like to let people know what's going on. I like to, you know, I don't really talk to that many people in a social way, so this is kind of my way of doing that to a certain extent. I am very cautious about parasocial relationships. I don't want anyone to feel like this is like a friendship and that you really connect with me as a human being and that we're friends, because we don't know each other ultimately. I see this as like a transactional thing, which I think is more healthy. I'm providing a product, people might like the product, that's where the line should be drawn in the sand. And that might seem cold and like distant, but I am quite a cold and distant person to begin with. But also, I just don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. I don't want people to start, you know, sending me things and DMs and all this stuff, because I will feel like honor bound to respond, and I don't want to do that because that makes me feel awkward. And so I want to be very clear about that sort of stuff. I don't want to what's the word? Deceive. I don't want to deceive anyone and make it out to be something that it's not. But yeah, I just want to say thanks a lot for watching so far. I'll have the end of the year video recap, as I always do at the end of the year. Still making a video every single day, which I have always done since about 2019 or something, which has been pretty good. Yeah, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.